what's up guys? Welcome back to another day of March Minifigure Madness. And today is Force Friday, so we're going to be talking about a lot of different characters that can use the Force. Star Wars is just such a big category and I have so many minifigures that I have to break them up into even more specific categories than just doing them only on Wednesdays. Now today's Force characters are all going to be from the Clone Wars, and this is going to be a two-part video, so this is in no specific order. These just are as I pull them out or just random category groupings of them. There is no specific order to any of these. So one of the oldest and most fond ones that I have is Master Plo Koon. Now Plo Koon came with his own starfighter, which I also have. This is where I got him from. And he has this nice Jedi chest piece, which is different than any of the other Jedi, so I like that they didn't just give him a classic dark brown one. And the rubber on his head, it's a nice mold, and the color has just sort of faded over time because I used to play with this one a lot. So some of the orange is kind of shown through on the eyes, as you can see, and on the face breathers. I don't know exactly what they're called, but he wields his blue lightsaber. He's got the black hands. There's no back printing. So yeah, I like this minifigure a lot. I like the ear sort of pieces on this, and I mean, Plo Koon's just always been like a cool character. Now up next is Ayla Sakura. I think that's how you pronounce these names. Sorry if I pronounce some of them wrong. This is just the way I've always been pronouncing them since I was a kid. Now she's a Twi'lek, and she has these long tentacles in the back. And this whole headpiece is a very nice custom. I like it a lot. It has like all the cross hatchings that she normally does with like all the things on her head. Now, one of the biggest complaints about the Clone Wars series minifigures is the faces. So they enlarge the eyes and the mouth and like the facial expressions for a lot of these characters, and people give them a lot of backlash for it. Personally, I never really had a problem with most of them. Some of them look a little goofy or a little off. I personally never minded them. Maybe it's just because I grew up and this was like my era, sort of. I do like how they gave her one of her uncovered arms and then the one covered arm, because as you can see, her covering is on this side, but not always on this side. I think that's a really nice detail because they very easily could have just done both, or done both brown or both blue, or just like not cared and just done it quickly. But they paid attention. And as you can see, Ayla Sakura even has this like the back printing. It continues all the way to the back, which I think is nice because not a lot of the Clone Wars ones that I remember had a lot of back printing, so it's always nice to see when it does have it. And once again, there's no specific leg printing, but also leg printing wasn't as widespread or as common in this time, and honestly, I don't think she needs it. It works with just the brown ones. Now, up next, we have Quinlin Voss. Now, he was technically in Phantom Menace, I think he was in the background, and they made him come back in some of the Clone Wars. So one thing I like is I like the way that they did the line across his face, like the tattoo or just the yellow line, whatever that is. His face looks a little derpy to me. I think it's the thick eyebrows. He's got this nice back printing. Where you can see he's wearing like his Clone Wars garb, and this hairpiece isn't very good. It's really hard to separate it without separating the head, but I mean that doesn't matter to me now, just as like a displayer. And as you can see, his hair technically comes down to this braid at the bottom. The hairpiece itself doesn't have it, but at least they gave a print to it on this so they could sort of reuse this hairpiece, or maybe this might already be a reused hairpiece from something. As you can see, he's still got the printing on the front, and he's got the black gloves. Now up next is Luminara Unduli with her green lightsaber. Now this minifigure does actually have leg printing, which I find interesting because I wouldn't have expected it from like this character. Now she came in a set with a speed biker, so she has her normal face, which I don't think this one looks too goofy at all, except for when you use the other face that she comes with. Now like I said, she came in a set where she had a speed bike. There's an episode where she wears goggles, but it's accurate. I mean, that's what it looks like, but it looks super goofy when it's like this. And I didn't even know that was there for the longest time. I must have forgotten it from when I was a kid. But as you can see, they do the thing where the sides are supposed to be like kind of grayed out, so she's not actually there. Like, she has like the slimmer body style, and she has these two gold pieces in her waistband. She has this custom headpiece as well, which is really nice. I think some of the like Egyptian pharaohs might have some of this sort of style headpiece. I haven't seen this mold personally and other things. I like this minifigure. It's very well detailed. There is nothing on the back, but it's whatever. It doesn't really make a big deal. Now, the next ones I'm going to be talking about are technically the same character, but I have two different versions of them. So this is Luminara's apprentice, Barriss Offee. Now, this minifigure I had for a while, and it was in one of the boxes for a set that I didn't build or play with very often. So I didn't even know that I had a previous version of her until I got this newer version. This is the older version from what I have. She has the black cape. She normally has like black dressings, which is nice. She has the gold buckle. And it's a little hard to see, but she does have like a blue tint to her jacket. And you can see there are some very fine, thin blue lines that go across her. It's really a nice mold. I just wish it was maybe a little bit brighter. I don't know. And this technically I don't think was one of the Clone Wars from the show era. It might have been, but it doesn't feel like it because the headpiece was different. But I mean, when else am I going to talk about this Jedi character? So There is no second face for this. It's just the one face, and she has these neatly differently colored hands, which are nice. I like this minifigure a lot. However, there was an updated version that came in a set that I got recently. It's largely the same chest piece. The eyes are notably different. As you can see, they look kind of lifeless in the new version. I actually prefer the head of this older version. If I wanted to, I would put this older head onto that version and just make it look better. However, she does have this very nice dark blue cloth cape. It's not this like the papery material. I don't know exactly what this material is. I like when minifigures have this, it makes it feel more natural. She does have a back printing, and the previous version did not. I forgot to talk about that. The previous version did not have a back printing, but it has a cape, so it doesn't always need it. But it is nice, especially since this one came out in recent years, that they did add a back piece. It's very similar to the front, and it has like the belt that goes across, and she still has that blue. Her lower body part doesn't have any printing on it. It's kind of just this strange black like dress cape. It's supposed to just, I don't know, it works for the character, but I wish there was like at least a print on it. That would have been nice. And she comes with this dark blue hood as well, which is always nice. Both of them have the blue lightsabers. I think this is a pretty good, I like how they are trying to do something different so they don't make the face like exactly the same. I do appreciate them trying to do it differently. And she does have a second head on the back, which is just kind of like the bored, uninteresting look to him. Now up next is a character I don't actually know how to pronounce her name. Saseetin, Saeeseetin. I don't know exactly how to pronounce their name. I'm sorry. And this is definitely one of the Clone Wars ones that you can see. They're supposed to have the clone armor for the arm pieces and the hands, which is nice. He has this custom headpiece too, which is very well detailed, especially even down to the back. Like this isn't just like a print. This is like engraved into it. Like this gray part's engraved into it, which is very detailed, and I like that. And the headpiece has these two bumps on the front for the forehead, which they normally do. And this minifigure's head looks absolutely terrifying when it doesn't have the horns on. It looks super weird. Even with it on it, it's still kind of weird, but at least it fits the aesthetic. He does have this nice dark chest piece, which is similar to the Plo Koon one, except this one has a lighter colored belt. And this one has back printing, which is always a nice thing to see. But yeah, there's a lot of detail in this minifigure, and I like this one. Now, the last minifigure I'll be talking about today is Master Shakti. I need to clean this one, actually, because her headpiece, it's hard to see, but it's very kind of dirtied, and it's just kind of been stained by time. Down here lower, it got scratched a bit, probably just from the way that I stored it. I didn't store them right when you were a kid. And her tentacles come all the way down to the back, which is really nice. And she did come with this cape, but it's weird that it comes like, I like the way that it keeps it pushed down with this back piece. I don't think that there's a back print. Yeah, there's no back print to this one. But I do like how bright red she is. They didn't like try to mute her colors down or anything to make it work. They went with the bright red. And as you can see, she has the tattoos, the printings. And you can't see it when like her headpiece is over it. But she has these nice gold like ribbons that go up, which unfortunately they get covered up because I like those there. I didn't even know that was part of her design. Maybe I did and I just don't remember it. But yeah, so you can see a little bit of a red chest there, and her face is pretty good as long as the headpiece is on. It's a little goofy, kind of like the rest of the Clone Wars ones, but I can give it a pass. Alright, so that's all the Clone Wars Jedi we'll be talking about today. Next Friday we'll be doing a part 2 to this where I'll show off some of the rest, like the Clone Wars era Jedi that I have, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching.
Farted on the track. Farted. Oh yeah. Yeah! We love that Dumpster Kid video. We all do! For more, like and subscribe. Hit it! Turn on the post notifications. Do it! Even when you're on vacation, you'll get notified.